What we have here is another one of these Allen Champion 3s from the 1960s. This one is in worse shape, it's much worse, but it is actually 5 years newer than the one I've just restored. If you haven't seen the video where I restore one, please do check it out. There's a link at the top right hand corner of the screen. So it has a very similar engine, it's a Model 14 like the other one. There is a slight difference between them, except for the age. It does have a different casting on the back. The other one actually has the casting so that you can bolt the fuel tank to the back of the engine itself, but this one is just like a standard block. So that is the only major difference between them. A lot of this video will make more sense if you've already seen the other restoration video, but this is just a getting it going video, not the sort of style that I tend to do. This thing is rotten and I've already done one, so I'd prefer just to see it mow. It'd be nice to see it work again. Initially we don't have a fuel cap, which isn't a huge problem in itself, but this is actually full of not water, not fuel, but engine oil, used engine oil. Now the fuel line actually runs just down here and into the carburetor. I would imagine the oil is made into the bowl of the carburetor, which again will have preserved things, but it's going to take quite a bit of cleaning, so that's fine. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is suck that out of there. Mounted underneath the fuel tank we have the Albion gearbox, and then across here we have the main pulley for the cutter, and then we have the Monroe worm drive reduction box just there. Oh, and yes, the pull cord is stuck in the out position. It's such a common problem I even forgot about it. So yeah, there's a few little jobs to do here. Let's start by sucking that oil out the tank, and then we'll pull that carburetor off and we'll have a good look at it. Yeah, I'm going to have to probably just detach all the pipes and then just take the tank out and tip it out. It's much easier. It was manufactured on the 10th of February 1966. And I would say we have a few gaskets leaking. It could also be coming from where the governor is. That's one off, but this one doesn't want to go. Lumpy. I think it is just water and oil mixed with vegetation. Some chunky bits coming out. Oh, it's just pure water, that. I think the bottom of the tank is still rusty. We're going to move on to the carburetor. We know that it's full of oil, so it would just be foolish to try and start this engine like it is. So that's going to come off. We're going to completely dismantle it, clean it up, replace anything that needs to be replaced, such as that, which has just been stuck in the end by the look of it. And the air filter has seen better days. Well, I think what I'm going to do is just put this straight into the pressure cabinet, the washing cabinet. We'll get all of this outside dirt removed. Might just take the bowl off just to see what we've got in there. Yeah, nice. Well, I didn't want any oil in the pressure cleaner, but I think the oil will have preserved the inside of this. So we'll be putting this into the ultrasonic cleaner, just to clean everything thoroughly. But it really doesn't look bad at all. So there we go, that's it disassembled. There really isn't much to these, they're very simple. I'm going to clean everything. I'm going to put a new terminal on the end of the coil on the HT lead. See if that works, see if the coil is good. Of course, this is a points and condenser engine, so I think I'm probably going to take the flywheel off, check the points and condenser, probably clean them as well. I'll probably replace them when I rebuild the engine, but I've just had to free this off. In fact, it's still pretty jammed, and these can squeal. They need to be lubricated, but I'm also going to probably take it apart. We'll clean all the ball bearings on the inside, pop the flywheel off, and we'll check the points and condenser. Well, I'm pleased that I looked in here. It's full of water. It's been kept outside for years, this machine, probably, I don't know, 20 years at least. Definitely going to be a bit gummed up in here. There is some wear, not too much. But I think we can clean this up. Now, although you don't actually oil inside this clutch, you do oil through the top piece here. There's a little hole, and that's really just so it doesn't stick to the shaft. So in here, it's a piece of sponge, essentially, and that'll absorb any oil that you put in the top, and that'll keep it lubricated. It's hard to say if it has worn rings. It looks like it might have, but all I want to do is test it before I strip it down and rebuild the whole thing. Obviously, if I rebuild it, I'll change the rings anyway. We'll check the ring gap. So yeah, just wanted to clean the carbon off there. I also need to clean the carbon off the cylinder head. Then I'll put it back together. We'll sort out the coil. I'll also put a new pull handle on the recoil, which I've cleaned up, and hopefully we can give it a go once we've put the carburetor on. It's actually not a bad head. Now all the carbon's removed. I'd reuse the old head gasket for now. It's fine. Just got to do a few more things. Got to put the fuel tank on. I'm also going to put the fuel line off the 1961 machine onto here because this one had the brass fitting, the original fuel line, which I want to fit onto the one which I restored for originality. And I can put the cheap plastic tap onto this one. I'll put this fitting on as well so that it's compatible. And yeah, it's just for testing. It doesn't need to have the original fitting because this isn't going to be a restored machine like the other one. Right, let's just check for spark. No oil in yet. Not trying to start it. It's probably the condenser. I should have just changed it to begin with. Right, let's try that again. Okay, here we go. Belt fell off, or disintegrated. That's good, it works. Before I mow any grass though, I need to put an air filter on it. Before I move on and do a bit of mowing, I've got this original parts book and instruction book for the other Allen Champion. This book is original to the 1961 machine, and this book was made in 1961. I think it was March 61. So this is going to be really interesting showing you this, and it really is a piece of history. So it talks about the lubrication of the engine, how to start it, how to use it. This part here is talking about the easy turn ratchet drive, which quite a few people were talking about in the comment section. It basically makes it easier to manoeuvre the machine. It's also safer to manoeuvre the machine on steep slopes. So I will just zoom in so you can read this. You will have to pause the video if you do want to read all of this, because I'm not going to be able to go through it all. The whole parts list unfolds. It is quite difficult to show on camera, but it's all one piece of paper. And there is the fully exploded parts diagram, which was very useful when it came to rebuilding the 1961 machine. I photocopied it so I didn't get this one dirty with oil. That was the optional brake assembly. This one, in fact, neither of these two have it. I don't really know why you'd need it actually. It seems to be fine without it, but yes, it was an option, and I'll show you the original pricing for that in a minute or two. We then have the specification page, and this tells you all about the engine. So model 14, it's actually a 141702. The starter type, which is rewind, 4-stroke, the bore size, stroke, piston displacement, oil capacity, spark plug, and the net weight. It also talks about the travelling speed. First gear is 1 mile per hour, second gear 1.5, third gear 2.75, and reverse 0.75 miles per hour. Cutting speed, everything is there. All the dimensions, even the fuel consumption. Over 2 3/4 hours, it uses a gallon approximately. Okay, so that's the manufacturer's warranty. But this is where it gets even more interesting. Now, this book is quite fragile. Before we look into that though, we have all the original warranty books and envelopes and stuff, everything here. That's the worm reduction gearbox from Monroe, Lancashire. The engine warranty registration card. Looks like they didn't register the warranty. Turns out they didn't need to. Quality. This is from the machine manufacturer, John Allen and Sons, Oxford. Looks like some kind of questionnaire or something. Do you already own an Allen motor scythe or rotary cutter? Yeah, that's something I want to restore in the future. This again is the worm reduction gearbox datasheet.
with the exploded parts diagram. Well, it's the parts diagram, parts list. And the Albion gearbox dated March 61. That's for the main gearbox, 3-speed. And again, this is an exploded diagram of the inner workings. Lubrication, bit about how to adjust it all. So it really is fantastic, all of this. And this is the operating and maintenance instructions from Briggs & Stratton. It's for the engine. So about how to service it and get it running. Moving back to the brochure. That's one in action. I think that's either the Challenger or the Champion 2. It's not the Champion 3. I think that is the Champion 2 because you can tell by the drive type. It's not got the same gearbox. And that's the Champion 3. So it's in some long undergrowth, chopping it all down. The fastest cut to the shortest finish. Allen eyes. So yeah, we have the 22-inch Challenger. This is the smallest. The largest is 26 inches. But yeah, that is what that one looks like. And then we have the Champion 2 and the Champion 3. They increase by 2 inches, the 2-inch cut increase each time. And I'm really impressed by how they were rating these machines for, well, this one, up to 4 acres. It's very impressive. Ideal for caravan sites, orchards, paddocks, etc. Easy start engine. And then yes, we have the Champion 3. There we go. Some different pictures of under the machine, the easy turn ratchet, the easy pull recoil.
This is the original price list, and I have managed to convert the old money into modern money to give you an idea of what these would have cost back then in 1961. So, for example, this particular machine is the Champion 3, and the standard price before you add any extras was around £2,400. As I said, it is just a general idea, but I think it is nice to be able to see this because it allows you to compare it to the prices of machinery these days, and the quality of these particular machines was very high.
Here's the specification chart so you can compare the difference between them all. Interestingly, the Challenger had the Villiers engine. The Champion 2 and 3 had the Briggs & Stratton.
That's it for this video. A big thank you to everybody who has recently subscribed, and also to everybody who is supporting the channel. Please stay tuned for my next video, which will be coming up very soon. It'll be another one of my subtitled restoration projects. Until then though, bye for now.